folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. Look what you did to him. Look what you did to him. Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Erschen, and this week we are reviewing the ultimate Pamela Voorhees action figure from NECA. That's right, from the original Friday the 13th from 1980. Which in my opinion is the best film in the franchise, and that's my personal opinion. I know that's not a popular one, but if you think about it, without the success of the original Friday the 13th, there wouldn't be a franchise. We wouldn't have the horror icon Jason Voorhees as we know him, because the lore was established here. It all started here with Mrs. Voorhees, yes, the mother of Jason, who drowned in the lake as a child, and he became the reason for Miss Voorhees' bloody rampage in this classic slasher film from 1980. And here you have it, folks, the ultimate Pamela Voorhees action figure from NECA. And I also think that that's the coolest movie poster in the franchise, too. I love that, the silhouette of the killer, who we don't know who the killer is throughout the entire movie until the last act. And I always love that, the silhouette, and then inside you see the forest of Camp Crystal Lake. They were warned. They are doomed, and on Friday the 13th, nothing will save them. You're doomed. You're all doomed, as Crazy Ralph would say. Alright, let's open up the window here, and you'll get a little sneak peek at the ultimate Pamela Voorhees action figure. Very nice, right? I think NECA did an excellent job once again. And it's so great to see this character get the love that it deserves here, because I feel like Pamela Voorhees is very vital to the franchise, such an important character in the lore of Friday the 13th, So let's open up the box and get a little bit of a closer look at what this has to offer. Box is pretty easy to open, so that's good. Alright, slide the plastic out. Easy enough. Alright. Alright, folks, there you get a little closer look at Mrs. Voorhees, as played so brilliantly in the film by Betsy Palmer. Who was an old-time Hollywood actress that they got to do this film. And at the time, she didn't really want to do it. She infamously said, after she read the script, that this is a piece of shit. But she decided to do it, and little did she know it become such a huge hit, and that this would be like her signature role, and what she's most known for. And as you see closer, there's several different, heads you can interchange. With a more, with each head there's a more devious and evil look to it. And yeah, she's got the bow and arrow with some arrows. And she's got the trusty knife that she uses prominently in the film. She's got a machete. An axe, that classic scene where the girl gets the axe right to the face. It's pretty nasty, one of my favorite scenes. And you got the different hands, so she can, hold the different weapons, of course, like the, the knife and the bow and arrow and the axe and everything. You got the, the boat paddle that got broken in half, and then she tried to, hit Alice with it. So let's take her out of the plastic here. And it's very easy to take her out of the plastic, unlike a lot of the figures, Alright, there you get a closer look at Mrs. Voorhees. Jason should have been watched every minute. He wasn't. He wasn't a very good swimmer. We can go now, dear. Absolutely. One of my absolute favorite performances in slasher movie history, without a doubt, is Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees, Pamela Voorhees, and very much looking forward to the Friday the 13th series coming out called Crystal Lake, which I believe will focus quite a bit on Mrs. Voorhees, so I'm really looking forward to that. Linda Cardellini, who's an excellent actress, is going to be playing the character, so yes, Mrs. Voorhees will be further, cemented in the legacy of Friday the 13th, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope it's something like similar to what they did with the Bates Motel series, when they made, Norman's mother became a very important character, and we got to know her and, her crazy relationship with Norman, so it's probably going to be something similar, I imagine, in the Crystal Lake series, but we'll have to wait and see. And I found that the character is very easy to stand as well. No problem whatsoever having her stand. So other figures, not so much. I think the last one I did with the Peter Cushing figure, he was kind of difficult to stand, even though that was an excellent figure. I feel like it's important, to have an action figure that can stand, so you can pose it in different ways, and she's very poseable. So I'm going to show you a couple different shots of her, with the various weapons, maybe switch the head around, and then you can see, some of the different sides to Mrs. Voorhees and what this ultimate figure has to offer. Here you go, folks. This is Mrs. Voorhees in full berserker rage mode. Yeah, so I changed one of the heads there and gave her trusty hunting knife there that she uses throughout most of the film. Yeah, awesome. I love this version of her. Yeah. Kill her, Mommy. Kill her. She can't hide. No place to hide. Get her, Mommy. Get her. Here, Mrs. Voorhees is out for blood with the machete. Such a popular weapon throughout the entire Friday the 13th franchise. It also becomes Jason's favorite weapon. But in the first film, it came into play with the final battle along with Alice, which she tried to stab Alice with it, but then Alice got a hold of the machete and ended up being Mrs. Voorhees' undoing when she gets beheaded by Alice. Yes, and that's becomes the death of Mrs. Voorhees. We do see Mrs. Voorhees a couple times throughout the franchise, though. We see her severed head in part 2, and Betsy Palmer actually does make a little cameo in the final act there. She kind of appears, in Jason's mind, kind of, saying, "Come, Jason, come to Mommy, come, kneel down." So classic. I also love part 2 so much. But yeah, I love the entire franchise, and obviously some more than others, and there are actually a couple, the last couple ones that I didn't care for much, but certainly love the original, the classic, the slasher that started it all in 1980, the original Friday the 13th, and I love Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees, and thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared. Good evening, folks, and we got some brand new merchandise for you over at www.thehorrorcona.com, and that's CONA.com. Representing the Horror Corner. Great new design. We got the Morbid Hour live stream there. You got the Horror Hangout live stream there. And you got my nemesis, the Dark Fate. So grab your t-shirt over at www.thehorrorkona.com. And we also got this beautiful new mug. Look at that. Very, very cool. Thought that came out really nice. So grab your merchandise today over at www.thehorrorkona.com.